Hello, my name is Malak Sadek, and during today's podcast, I will be discussing the global issue of women constantly losing independence within their relationships, specifically within Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Hurston, as well as how important it is to raise awareness of this issue. Their Eyes Were Watching God is basically a story about a mixed woman who experiences three different lifestyles within three different marriages, highlighting the examples of global issues that still occur in our modern world today. We see examples of women losing independence in relationships, especially when Jodie and Janie were arguing, and Janie tells Jodie that it wasn't because she didn't have no sympathy. She had lavish of that. She just didn't get no chance to use none of it. You wouldn't let me. First of all, the sentence structure within "you wouldn't let me," the simple sentence makes the text very direct and straightforward, showing how much control Janie felt that Jodie had over her. As a result, this characterizes Janie as someone who has constantly been repressed and controlled in her relationship with Jodie. Furthermore, here we see our issue of women losing independence within their relationships because of Janie's feeling as if she needs to hide a part of herself to please her partner, Joe. I believe that this example stands out in the text and ties back to our global issue majorly because it shows readers how women in society always feel like they have to be a different version of themselves just for the sake of their partners. We definitely know that this is still an issue in our modern world today because in the Jean Hales 2020 National Women's Health Survey, 11.1% of all women surveyed reported having a controlling partner in their lives. Another major example elsewhere that also strongly communicates this issue was after Joe dies and Jodie finally, in quotes, tore off the kerchief from her head and let down her plentiful hair. The weight, the length, the glory was there. She took careful stock of herself, then combed her hair and tied it back up again. First of all, we see lexical choice within tore, which implies that she wanted to destroy the hair rag really badly. Now notice that the term tore could have been replaced with any other term, but the author chose to use this term to emphasize the extent to which Janie wanted to destroy her hair rag and get rid of it immediately. As a result, this characterizes Janie as someone who was once restricted at a certain point in her life, but is now free. Furthermore, this strongly relates to our independence issue because of the way Janie feels when her husband dies. Additionally, this is definitely important because of Janie's sudden feeling of independence the sudden feeling of independence only occurred to her when her husband dies and when she was 40 years old. This is considered a pretty late age to start to feel independence. To address another major issue that still happens in our modern world today that also took place within the book was when Janie looks at a photograph of herself and claims, I'm colored in disappointment. The short phrases within highlights the feelings of surprise and disappointment that looking at the photograph brought to Janie. Additionally, the exclamation mark emphasizes the extent to which Janie was surprised by her actual color. As a result, this sets a tone of disappointment within the text, hence the characterization of Janie as someone who's disappointed to be colored. Furthermore, here we definitely see internalized racism because of how Janie associates being colored to something negative. People constantly see being colored as something being bad in our modern world today. The major issue of people wanting to change the way they look is definitely still present in our current world because according to Thought Co., quote, to live up to Western beauty standards, people suffering from internalized racism may attempt to alter their appearance to look more white. This is the issue that still happens in our world today and that must be changed, which brings me to why I'm discussing these major two issues in our podcast today. Thank you for listening. Bye.